Welcome to Savvy Business, Life Unscripted, with your host, Christina Rivera, where our guests share their wisdom and valuable business tips, empowering our audience to expand their personal potential.
Hi, John and Martha King. Welcome back to Savvy Broadcasting. We're so grateful to have you back. It's been a couple of years, but we're grateful here to have you today to share your latest book, Lift. And this is a wonderful book sharing your journey of entrepreneurship. You've been not only pilots, but business owners and entrepreneurs for a long time and have a quite a bit of
really getting old. I mean.
But you came last time to share some of your information and wisdom in the arena of flying. But today we're going to talk more about business and what you've learned and how you've grown into one of the biggest informational businesses on sharing flight training with the world. But before we go there, just share a little bit for people who didn't catch our first interview about yourselves and what you're all about.
Well, we went broke in another business, and we've been not broke. We like not broke a lot better, by the way. And we just said that, wow, that hurt. Let's not do that anymore. Exactly. Let's do something for the fun of it until a serious business comes along. And we have been teaching ground schools for the fun of it for 47 years now, and we still haven't found a serious business. And so we kind of reached the conclusion that if you're doing something you have a passion for, you'll probably do a better job of it, you'll work harder at it, and you'll persist through difficulties. And so we're doing something we have a passion for, and I think it's worked out well for us.
There's been a big transition in our business from a technology standpoint. When we first started doing King Schools, we were teaching very small classes at flight schools, and we were using a blackboard, and eventually we went to overhead projectors where you had transparencies you put down and they were projected on the screen. And then we went to VHS video, and then to DVDs and CDs, and finally online. And then our latest is that we have apps where people can take our courses and download them from the servers and take them on an airplane, take them to the beach, whatever they'd like to do.
We like to think that there are two fundamental things that have us still eating regularly after 47 years. And one of those things is we have always very strongly solicited and been responsive to customer feedback. And if you're trying to serve your customers, how do you know you serve your customers if you don't get feedback from them? So we've been very strong about getting customer feedback. And then the second thing that's let us keep eating regularly through the decades is that we have been responsive to technology changes. There's been a lot of technology changes, and they've allowed us to do, all of us together, things like this that we couldn't have done otherwise. And technology has really changed in terms of being able to make presentations to people.
And the technology has allowed us to make the aviation training that we do much more accessible to people around the world, not just in the US, both to locate us and buy the programs from us through e-commerce, but also to take them online so that they don't have to wait for tapes or CDs or DVDs to show up at their door anymore. They could just buy the program and start taking it immediately.
Now with technology, we can teach them in their living rooms and or bedroom, wherever they choose, but we can follow them around in their home and teach them.
Well, I'd like to just pause one moment, because you guys have mentioned two important things that I think every business owner today can pick up and start using, and that is paying attention to customer feedback. I think often that is very much a lost art in business these days, from going to your local restaurant or whatever it might be. I'm often hearing how customer service gets a back burner. And then the other one is really keeping up with technology. If you're going to keep your business running smoothly and growing as you guys have, you really got to keep on top of technology.
Absolutely. An interesting thing about listening to your customers is when we started doing the VHS tapes, we were originally using them to teach in our own courses, and then we started selling them for flight instructors around the country where we didn't travel to use to run our courses, and they were buying the courses from us, and we were making money that way. And we went to AirVenture at Oshkosh, the big experimental aircraft association show, and had a booth there with the design of selling our programs to flight instructors, so that, because the way we designed it is they could use our programs in order to make money. And we were charging $500 to the flight instructors in the early 1980s. And what we found out by talking and listening to people at that booth at AirVenture was that the majority of people who were buying our programs were not flight instructors intending to use them to run their own ground training business. It was individuals willing to shell out that much money in order to have it for themselves and use it at home to do their studying. And that opened up for us a huge market, the whole world of consumer marketing, as opposed to just selling to flight instructors.
Wow, that's a pivot. That's a big pivot.
Yeah, we think that entrepreneurs should play Scrabble with TNT, and it's a little bit long-winded, but play stands for have a passion, have lots of interest, be always learning, and yet again, these are habits. So you keep going back to them. Scrabble, we consider Scrabble letters things that you have learned more about than other people. And if you have enough Scrabble letters, like in the old game of Scrabble that you played on a board, if you have Scrabble letters, you can make a word. And in a game of life, you're not limited to how many Scrabble letters. You can learn as much as you want to learn. So if you have the habit of accumulating things you know more about than other people, you're doing better. And so PLAY, and the Y is yet again, you do this habitually. You have passions and you lots of interest, and you're always learning, and you do this habitually, and it gives you things that you can learn where you can serve your customers some way that you hadn't thought of before.
And one of the advantages of the Scrabble analogy is that you don't always know whether something you're learning at the moment is going to be useful in your business. It may just be something that you find fun and is interesting, but every new thing that you learn a lot about, like letters in the Scrabble game, can play off of all of the other letters, if you will, that you've accumulated. And sometimes it comes out to just a really, really nice business. And that's what happened with us.
Now, TNT, Martha and I are always making up words to help people remember.
Just like aviation. Yeah,
we do that all the time. And so TNT is trust, is the first T. Unless you're trustworthy, people won't buy from you. N is taking care of other people's needs. So T, trust, needs. And then the last T is you triumph with a solution to their needs. So you play Scrabble with TNT and you're an entrepreneur.
I love that. Well, I also caught something else from what Martha just said, and that was really getting a handle of pulling all of your gifts and talents that you accrue over your lifetime that can make up Scrabble words or talents that you could use as a business. Not all the time do you pick up new things that are viable in the market, but as you pick up new skills, you can pull them together and it could possibly be something that is necessary in the marketplace.
Well, some of our Scrabble letters are a passion for aviation. We love teaching, we love flying, and we've learned to market.
We learned, first of all, to do direct marketing through mail and then through magazine ads. And as time's gone on, we've learned to do internet marketing, and then of course learned the technology of distributing our courses
on video or computer
or on the internet. And that's why our company is named King Schools and not King Videos, even though King Video is what we started with. It was the VHS tapes. because we had the passion for the teaching rather than for any particular technology.
Platform and technology. Got it. Now, when I saw that early on, you were going out physically to the schools, flying out there, and as you said, giving classes and such. Was there a moment where things just started to explode and you're like, wow, we're on to something new and different and exciting? Because
Well, some guy in our classroom says, you should put these courses on video. And I said, well, that just goes to show you don't know anything about our business because it won't work on video. And he says, well, I don't know why it wouldn't work. If you haven't tried it, how can you say that? And so we put it on video, and son of a gun, it worked. And within, a year or two, we're teaching half the pilots in the country learning to fly.
yeah,
Because
including myself.
Just exploded.
Thank you.
It just exploded.
Wow.
And we didn't know where we were going. We didn't know what we were doing. We just stumbled into it, and we were able to take advantage of it.
We started out with the idea, we had gone bankrupt in this previous business that we were in, and that really hurt and left us kind of down. And we said, well, let's do something for the fun of it until a serious business comes along. And we just felt, well, we'll own a good job, something that we enjoy, and we'll pass the time and we'll look around. Well, it's been 47 years and we still haven't found a serious business because we're still having a great time with it. And that's what's wonderful, as you well know from yourself and the people you talk to all the time, about being an entrepreneur and running your own business, is you're having fun.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And it's true. Today, it's interesting we talk about this because so much of today, there's a lot of people who are trying to make it online in the internet realm. And whether they're a podcaster or whatever they might be doing online, and they get caught up in building their audience and making it as big as possible. And they forget to ask, are you having fun? Are you providing value? Because at the end of the day, when you start doing that, you will automatically pull people towards you.
In our view, an entrepreneur has to seek out and take care of other people's needs. And there's three groups you need to take care of. Obviously, you need to take care of your customers. Why would they buy from you otherwise? You need to take care of the people who invest their lives working with you, because that's a huge commitment on their part. It's the most precious thing they have. And you need to be very thoughtful about their time and about them. And then the third group of people is vendors. We've had some vendors that we have taken care of their needs, and when it came to a difficult time, we ran out of supplies like paper for a catalog. They said, we're going to take care of you. We're going to make sure you get your paper. So it's really it's counterintuitive. You take care of your vendors, but you take care of everybody. Mm-hmm. And that's how an entrepreneur gets ahead.
It's all about relationships, in our opinion, and it's all about doing good things for other people, which does in a roundabout, sometimes quickly, sometimes longer, but in a roundabout way, does good things for you, because the way you get ahead is by helping other people solve their problems and meet their needs. If you don't meet their needs, they're not going to do what you need.
We have friends who, through aviation, we've been lucky enough to get to know billionaires, and they are people who do a very good job of taking care of other people's needs. That's what they're really good at. And a lot of people feel that entrepreneurs are greedy, but in fact, entrepreneurs are the least greedy people we know. They take care of other people's needs.
And when you have, you're able to give. And what I'm getting from you is not just taking care of your customer, which, sometimes falls by the wayside with some businesses today. We're hoping to get people more engaged with customers. But as you just pointed out, it's also your employees, your vendors, the people you work with, because no one creates a wonderful business by themselves. It's with the vendors, it's with your workers, and their needs also are very important in the whole equation. Yeah.
Well, we've certainly enjoy entrepreneurship, and I'm a big believer in it. I think it's good for people. It's good for the community. We know one entrepreneur who's the person who employs most of his community, and you do good things for everybody you come in contact with. I think you leave everybody you come in touch better off.
Absolutely. Well, I could stay talking to you guys for all day. It's been amazing. You've offered so much insights to business owners out there, but I don't want them to leave without finding out how they can get a copy of your book. How can they do that?
Well, go to kingschools.com and slant lift, which is the title of the book. And kingschools.com, I hope you can remember because we are John and Martha King. So it's kingschools.com slant lift. I'm not sure. I'm not doing a very good job.
No, it's right here, everyone. Lift. How to Start, Run, and Grow Your Own Successful Business with John and Martha King. A wonderful book, loads of experience, over 40 years experience there. You're not going to get more better experience than what they're giving you here in their wonderful new book. I just have to thank you again for coming back as a return guest to Savvy Broadcasting.
Well, thank you very much, Christina. You've done a wonderful thing here.
Thank you. God bless.
Like, subscribe, and share this episode. To listen to more savvy episodes and savvy biz tips, go to www.lifeunscriptedradio.com. To find out about our paid sponsorship opportunities or how to become a guest, email Christina at lifeunscriptedradio.com.